Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So now that there is still so much uncertainty with this NHL season and if it's going to continue or if it's just going to be canceled entirely and then the normal NHL season starts up next year, I really don't know what to expect. There's been a lot of proposals that have been out there, but regardless, I thought it would be a good time to focus on each NHL team quickly and one player from each team that in my mind at least has had the most surprising season and can most likely have a very promising future. A lot of these guys are either rookies or still younger early 20-year-old type players, but there are some older players in here as well, and almost all of them are having career years, so that all goes in part with them having a surprising year because a lot of these guys did not have much expectations or have very well exceeded expectations by a tremendous amount. So getting right into it with the Anaheim Ducks, I have Sonny Milano. Milano, even though he is in a short stint so far with Anaheim, I think he's going to be a huge part of their success and has already played very well with 5 points in 9 games for them. So there can be a lot expected from Milano going forward, but there really wasn't much when he was first traded for, and he made an impact right away, scoring in his first game with the Anaheim Ducks, and I believe that was an OT winner against the Edmonton Oilers. So that was a fun game to watch. But overall, Milano looks like he can have an increased role at Anaheim with their depleted offense and their top 6, top 9, whatever it may be. And in my mind, he is their most surprising player. And if it wasn't him, it was going to be Derek Grant, but Grant has obviously been traded to the Philadelphia Flyers back at the trade deadline also, so I couldn't pick him. Next, I have Connor Garland for the Arizona Coyotes. Garland has over 20 goals this season. He has actually 22 to be exact, and he has 39 overall points in 68 games. The sophomore season has treated him well for the young winger and is really providing a crucial part to this Carolina's offense that desperately needs goal scoring and really hasn't had it for quite some time. So Garland has really jumped out of nowhere this season and has provided much offense that has been greatly needed, and I'm sure that will only continue going forward in his career with them. Next, I have David Pastrnak for the Boston Bruins. This may come as a surprise, but I definitely was not expecting Pastrnak to be on the pace that he has been on this season. He's loomed around 80 points or so the past couple of years, but this year in only 70 games, he has 95 points and 48 goals for 47 assists. Out of all the Boston Bruins, I don't think anyone was expecting Pastrnak to hit that, be a 50 goal scorer, possibly 50 assists. Those are insane numbers, and who knows what it would have been if this season ended normally. And if it does end normally, then who knows? He will definitely get over 100 points. I'm confident in that. But that's an easy at least 20-point jump from what his career highs were. So Pastrnak has to be the most surprising player on the Boston Bruins with just how amazing of a season he's had, in my opinion. Next, I have Victor Olofsson, a rookie for the Buffalo Sabres. Olofsson, obviously, in 54 games played due to injuries, has 20 goals for 2 points overall. Olsen is one of the best young rookies currently in the 2019-2020 rookie class for the NHL, and there's so much to like about him. He's an older rookie as well, being 24 years old, and he's a crucial part of the Buffalo Sabres future. Next, I have Cam Talbot for the Calgary Flames. Talbot has really rejuvenated his career this season after having a couple really so-so years with the Edmonton Oilers. Talbot is putting up numbers he hasn't since the 2016-2017 season when he went to the playoffs with the Oilers. In 26 games played, he has 12 wins, has a goals allowed average of 2.63, and a save percentage of .919. So the 32-year-old goaltender is really playing strong, and I really hope for his sake that continues. Next, I have Dougie Hamilton for the Carolina Hurricanes. Hamilton has really stepped up after being, expected a 40-point or so defenseman. He was on pace to almost be a point per game this season and was definitely getting Norris consideration until, unfortunately, he broke his leg and was out for the remainder of the season. Hamilton, in 47 games played, had 14 goals, 26 assists for 40 points, and a plus-minus of +30, might add. So Hamilton, there's so much to like there. Big body defenseman, great two-way defenseman, PK, power play, especially whatever it may be. He provides a lot, and I expect a lot more to come from him going forward. Next, I have Pavel Francouz for the Colorado Avalanche. Francouz is a 29-year-old goaltender who has really emerged this year with the injuries happening to Colorado starter Philip Grubauer. Francouz in 34 games played has 21 wins. He has a goals allowed average of 2.41 and a save percentage of 923. Crucial part to Colorado's success, and without him, I don't know where Colorado would be. I would assume they'd still be in a playoff spot, but not nearly as good of one that they are currently in now, even with all the other injuries that they have dealt with throughout the season. Next, I have Zach Werenski and Elvis Merzlikins, because they were one of the only teams where I kind of liked both of them. Merzlikins, obviously being the rookie goaltender, stepped up with Jonas Korpisalo being hurt for the Blue Jackets, and has 13 wins on the season, a goals allowed average 2.35, and a save percentage of 923. So much like there with Merzlikins, and he has a boatload of shutouts this season as well, and had a shutout streak. And then you have Zach Werenski, who in only 63 games played has 20 goals as a defenseman for 41 total points. Werenski, as a 22-year-old defenseman, who knows what the limit is going to be with him. Really seems like the sky. With 20 goals, arguably the best scorer on this Blue Jackets team, which is saying a lot about their offense. But so much to like with Werenski, and I'm unbelievably excited to see what his future holds as well. Next, I have Robbie Fabry for the Detroit Red Wings. Fabry, who really they received for nothing, having in a smaller trade earlier in the season, has really thrived for the Red Wings after getting healthy, with dealing with some significant injuries, and having a smaller role on a really stacked offense with the St. Louis Blues. So having him with Detroit and or if he decides to play well, he's going to move up in the lineup more and more, and he has done just that. Fabry, in 61 games played, has 15 goals, 17 assists for 32 points. And who knows, he could be a big part of Detroit's future as a young winger as they continue this rebuild. And next, I have Kailer Yamamoto for the Edmonton Oilers. I love Yamamoto. I've always been a fan of him from when he was first drafted as a smaller statured forward. He really has been impressive, to say the least, and he has finally broke out this year with 26 points in 27 games since being called up. Crucial to Edmonton's success with needing depth in their wingers, so that's great to see, and I hope that it continues. Next, I have Chris Driedger for the Florida Panthers, with the downplay by Sergei Bobrovsky. While their defense has been bad, the Panthers, Bobrovsky has not really helped much either after signing that big deal with them. So Driedger, a 25-year-old goaltender who's been an AHL mainstay up until this point, has really been crucial to the Florida Panthers in still being in this playoff race. And in 12 games played, he has 7 wins, a goals allowed average of 2.05, and a save percentage of 938. So it's going to be very interesting to see what Driedger's future holds, but he definitely was not expected to be playing any games this season, and that I think most Florida Panthers fans, if not all, can agree on. Next, I have Alex Iafallo for the LA Kings. Iafallo has really continued to progress in his career, really coming out of nowhere as well. And Iafallo, in 70 games played, has 43 points, including 17 goals and 27 assists. So a lot to like there. Increased role with a depleted offense with the Kings as well. And he looks like he will very well be a part of their future as they continue this rebuild. Next, I have Kevin Fiala, who has been a monster for the Minnesota Wild this season. The pace that he was on up until the suspension for the NHL season was remarkable. He's the reason why they are currently right out of the playoff spot. In 64 games played, he has 54 points, including 23 goals. So Fiala has really been playing fantastic. And what seemingly didn't look like a great trade at first is definitely working out for Minnesota's side with acquiring him from the Nashville Predators last season. Next, I have Nick Suzuki, the rookie centerman for the Montreal Canadiens, who was originally acquired from the Vegas Golden Knights in the Max Pacioretty trade. So Suzuki in an increased role with the downplay and injuries of guys like Jesperi Kotkaniemi especially have really benefited Suzuki. And in 71 games played, he has 13 goals for 28 assists, and that totals to 41 points. Really playing strong hockey as a rookie, and looks like he is going to be a crucial part to Montreal's future with a fantastic prospect pool, might I add. Rocco Grimaldi is who I have for the Nashville Predators. Grimaldi is a 27-year-old forward, has really played better than expected this season for the Nashville Predators. In 66 games played, he has 31 points, including 21 assists. So Grimaldi has really improved his game this season out of nowhere, for that matter, and a guy who was a second-round pick in 2011 by the Florida Panthers is really proving that he is much more than say, a really fourth liner or AHL mainstay. So I'm really happy for his sake that he has had the kind of success that he has had this season. Um, Next, I have Mackenzie Blackwood for the New Jersey Devils. Blackwood has really merged to being the Devils' number one, especially with Corey Schneider seemingly being done now. But that really wasn't expected in the beginning of the season because Schneider looked like he was coming for a bounce back year, but that obviously did not happen. Mackenzie Blackwood, the rookie goalie, in 47 games played, has 22 wins and goals allowed average of 2.77 and a save percentage of 915. A lot to like there, and if you're a Devils fan, you should be really happy because Blackwood is the real deal. Next, I have Semyon Varlamov for the New York Islanders, who they signed in the offseason after not re-signing Robin Lehner, which was surprising. But Varlamov has played better than expected, in my opinion, and has really been has really rejuvenated his career as well. The 31-year-old goaltender in 45 games played has 19 wins, goals allowed average of 2.62, and a save percentage of 914. So another guy where there's just so much to like, and while he isn't a fantastic goalie by any means, he has really rejuvenated his career this season, and that has been a key part into the Islanders' success. Excuse me. Next, I have Adam Fox for the New York Rangers. The Rangers are a team I could have picked a lot of players from, not even biasly as a Rangers fan, just overall. Fox has been undoubtedly the Rangers' best defenseman, and as a rookie, that is really tremendous. The 22-year-old defenseman in 70 games played has 8 goals, 34 assists for 42 points. Really having a fantastic year. Great two-way defenseman, power play, PK, whatever it may be. He has thrived for them and looks like easily the most poised and smoothest skater on the defense, and it really isn't that close, which is saying a lot. Next, I have Nick Paul for the Ottawa Senators. Nick Paul has really only had a cup of coffee in the NHL with the Senators up until this season, but the young left winger, it has an increased role and has really thrived. In 56 games played, he has 9 goals, 11 assists for 20 points. So that's great to see. I'm really happy for Nick Paul, and it looks like he can be a part of the Ottawa Senators' future as they continue this rebuild. For the Philadelphia Flyers, though, I have Scott Lawn. Scott Lawn, given the games that he's played, has really been putting up the points. The 25-year-old centerman in 49 games played has 27 points, including 13 goals. So there's a lot to like there with Lawn. It looks like he is going to be a big part of the Flyers' future as they are in a win-now stage with a pretty deep offense, and already seems like he is being favored by the likes of their head coach Alain Vigneault, and that is huge to his success if he is viewed as a reliable player in the AV's eyes. So next, I have John Marino, the rookie defenseman for the Pittsburgh Penguins. The 22-year-old rookie has 26 points in 56 games, including 20 assists, and has been really lights out for Pittsburgh on the defensive front, and obviously brings some offensive upside. Came out of nowhere, too, was a 6th-round pick, I believe, by the Edmonton Oilers years ago, 6th or 7th round, and has really come out of nowhere with all the injuries that the Pens have dealt with. He has stepped in shortly after the start of the season has really thrived for them. So it's great to see for the Pens, and Marino's case, it looks like he isn't going anywhere anytime soon. Next, I have Joel Kelman for the San Jose Sharks. Kelman I picked because there really wasn't anyone for the Sharks I felt I could pick that was that big of a name. Kelman is a rookie 25-year-old centerman out of Sweden and has 7 points in 31 games played. So not terrible by any means, but like I said, I would have picked Barclay Goodrow, for example, but he was since traded to the Tampa Bay Lightning, so because of that reason, Kelman was my second pick. And next, I have Zach Sanford for the St. Louis Blues. Sanford, the left winger, in 58 games played, has 30 points, including 16 goals. Career highs all around, has really done a great job in both the offensive and defensive front as a two-way forward. And no matter what line they put him on, he has thrived and has really been a glue guy type player. So that's great to see. Next, I have Alex Killorn, who's having a career year as a 30-year-old already for the Tampa Bay Lightning, so that's remarkable for his case. In 68 games played, he has 26 goals, 23 assists for 49 points, and if they make playoffs this season, assuming it restarts, but we'll see, he will be a crucial part in it because he has stepped up in the playoffs in the past, and I expect him to do that again going forward. Next, I have Ilya Mikheyev, the rookie Russian forward for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Mikheyev came out of nowhere this season as well, and unfortunately he got hurt earlier in the season with getting cut by a skate, I believe right around his wrist, in a game against the Devils. So that's really unfortunate. But Mikheyev was playing very strong hockey up until his injury. And in 39 games played, he had 23 points, including 8 goals and 15 assists. So Mikheyev, it's interesting what his future is going to be, but I think he will be a big part of the Toronto's offense going forward in their top 9. Next, I have JT Miller. That shouldn't come as a surprise for the Vancouver Canucks. Is having a career year and is leading them in basically all offensive stats in his first season with the Vancouver Canucks. Miller, the 27-year-old centerman or winger, wherever you put him, has 72 points in 69 games, including 27 goals and 45 assists. Big JT Miller fan as a Ranger fan, and I am so happy to see him thrive. And I really hope that this continues for his sake and Vancouver. Next, I have Shea Theodore for the Vegas Golden Knights. Theodore, I've been a big fan of since he was in the farm system for the Anaheim Ducks, and he has really become a great two-way defenseman and has provided a lot of offense for them this season that they have needed on the blue line, without question. Theodore has 46 points in 71 games, including 13 goals and 33 assists. He's only 24 years old too, so there's so much to like there, and is crucial to Vegas' success, especially as being a guy on the power play that they can rely on as a quarterback. Next, I have Ilya Samsonov, the rookie goaltender for the Washington Capitals. I fully expect him to be the next starter for the Caps going into next season and the future. I like Samsonov a lot, and in 26 games played, he has 16 wins, a goals allowed average of 2.55, and a save percentage of .913. So I think those stats will get better, and I expect a lot from him going forward for the Capitals. And finally, for the Winnipeg Jets, I have Neil Pionk, who was traded for Jacob Trouba not long ago, and Pionk, the 24-year-old defenseman, has really played great in an increased role, especially being on the power play and on PK, wherever they put him. He has 45 points in 71 games played, including 39 assists. So Pionk, huge part, and they're getting him for a bargain too, comparing to what they would be paying Jacob Trouba currently. So overall, it's really working out for the Jets with Neil Pionk, and I definitely see that going forward. So that's all I have for this video. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, comment, all those great things. Check out previous videos if you haven't already. I have plenty of NHL content for you to see that you would probably like, talking about a lot of these players in particular. So yeah, that's really all I have for today. If you are a fan of any of these teams, let me know what you think, if you agree or disagree with me on my pick. And if you have a different pick, please let me know what yours would be. I really would love to hear it. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will be back in a day or two.